My name is Tiara Alston, and I'm doing an interview with Mr.
Stephon Redmond
for my Principles of Business class, and I'm going to begin now. Hi, Mr. Stephon.
Hey, how you doing?
What's the name of your business?
Name of my business is called Steals and Deals.
And what type of business do you run?
It's a swap shop.
How long have you been in business?
I've been in business for 2 years now.
Why did you choose that name, and how did you start your business?
I didn't choose the name of the business. It was previously owned by a Caucasian man named Julian Raven. He's a Christian guy. He's somewhat of my stepfather. He was trying to buy the building. He couldn't buy the building, so instead of selling the business to anyone else, he sold it to his so-called stepson, and now I have the business, Steals and Deals.
What made you accept the offer and for you to want to own your own business?
Well, first, I have a felony on my record, and anyone knows when you have a felony, it's hard for you to get a job and things of that nature. And so I took the opportunity. I hopped on it because who doesn't want to own their own business?
Does your family support you in your business?
My family has no. Since I've been open for 2 years, no promotion, no support, no nothing.
What made you choose this line of business to stay in the business that he had before you?
I was poor, and now I'm kind of hood rich. The goal, it's the interaction with the people. It's mainly the interaction with the people and the things that you never know each day what's gonna come into your store. You never know, and so with that, the girls and the money and being able to take care of yourself is a big deal to me.
Did you do any school before you opened your shop or while owning your shop?
Well, not while owning. When I was younger in high school, I was somewhat of a bad kid, so they had me doing half high school, half BOCES. In the process of that, I took up video editing, which comes in handy today because I do a lot of commercials for the store to promote the business, and so so video editing, BOCES.
Why did you stay in the location you were for the amount of time you did, and then move to the location you are at now?
Well, my store was raided by the police. With like the 6th month I was in business, they thought I was selling drugs within the store. I was on parole at the time. I went up north, came back. I still had a year's lease. And so the owner, he abided by his lease, but after a year, the lease was done, so they didn't want me there no more. So I had to find a different location. Couldn't find nothing in a short amount of time, so I was stuck with a little location. But that was in July, and we're here in April and still moving.
Outside of your business hours, how many extra hours do you work for your business?
It's kind of like a 24-hour thing because, I use the internet, Facebook, Twitter, my YouTube, and people are constantly asking me. So it's kind of like a 24-hour job.
Do you love owning your own business?
I do. I do love owning my own business. Make my own hours. I can bless people. It's such a good thing. Okay?
How difficult is it to run the business by yourself?
It's very difficult because finding good help is always hard. Since I've been in business, I've hired 6 people, and either they stole from me or they did something to where they jeopardized the business and money. So it's very hard because I learned in this 2 years, if you want things to be done right, you have to do them yourself.
Mm-hmm. You said earlier that you use Facebook to promote your business. What other advertising do you use?
It's mainly YouTube, and it's mainly Facebook. The reason why I chose Facebook because, one, I moved to an area where I didn't know nobody. And what I did was just started adding people from the area. And, it was a thing that I needed to do because I'm in a town where no one knows who I am. So that helped me a lot. And it got people, it gave them a chance to sit back and not physically meet me, but to see what type of person I am. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter a little bit.
What advice would you give someone who wants to start their own business?
My advice is to have faith. to have faith that you're going to turn $1 into $2. And for people who do illegal things, when you do illegal things, you have, like, say, I'm going to use drugs, for instance, because I used to live that life. When you're buying drugs, you're buying them wholesale. You're having faith that you're going to run into, you know, crackheads, cokeheads, people who do all of them different drugs. So you take your money and you have faith that they're going to buy your product. It's not guaranteed. You have faith. So when you're running your business, save a little money, keep money in the stash for them slow days, and have that same faith that you're going to make money. If you have that same faith, you're going to be good.
When you first started your business, was it just for profit or service purposes?
It was both, because I love ladies, I love the women, but it's more so profit. That's what we live for, you know. You want to turn $1 into $2, but after a while, in my type of business, people are bringing me their items, their used items, because they needed cash, and then you see that there's a avenue, there's a need to help people. And that's what, you know, for the most part, when I can, I try to do it.
Do you plan to extend your business into other things?
I would love to. I would love, here in Elmira, New York, I would love to open up, you know, a thrift store, more swap shops, just something more to help uplift the people in the community. You know, to me, the people in Elmira are depressed, and so I want to bring something that, at least if they come into my store, they can smile about, or, you know, for the most part.
How did you obtain financial startup to open your business? And was it hard?
No. The reason why it wasn't hard, because people, like, well, I didn't know a lot about it, but gold and silver has been on the rise for years. And, you know, I've never paid attention to it. And once you learn about gold and precious metals, you'll learn that, you know, you will never be broke. So, you know, that's another thing I would say to people. If you never want to be broke, even if it's $200 in your bank account, keep your gold, save your gold, buy gold. You'll never be broke.
That's a conclusion to this interview, and it was nice doing this interview with you, Mr. Stephon.
Yes, thank you.